ESTEVAO wins it for Chelsea in the end at Stamford Bridge. Final score, Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1, and Chelsea deserved this. Chelsea deserved this. This was the first win in the Premier League for Chelsea since the 30th of August when they beat Fulham 2-0 at Stamford Bridge as well. Back-to-back losses though for Liverpool, and we're going to talk about Liverpool in a minute, but I do want to start with Chelsea. Chelsea deserved this. I think in the first half, for large parts, and towards the end of the second half, they showed that they wanted it more. They've shown more quality, in my opinion. There was a spell where Liverpool showed a bit more quality, but like I said, we'll talk about Liverpool in a minute. I think that Chelsea have done what it took for them to win. They had to win this because another loss in the Premier League would have mounted more and more pressure onto Enzo Maresca, who was already under a lot of pressure. Remember, this is their first win in the Premier League since the 30th of August. They lost against Manchester United. They lost against Brighton. So they had to come out with a big result in a big game like this. I do want to give some players their shout outs. I thought Cucurella was quality. I thought ESTEVAO when he came on was quality. I thought Gusto playing in that midfield role next to Caicedo. Caicedo obviously always class. We'll talk about him in a minute as well. I thought that Reece James filling in at centre-back when required, but playing predominantly right-back, he had a good game as well. I thought Sanchez, to a certain extent, had a good game as well. So overall, this was a good Chelsea first half especially. I thought Garnacho showed spells where he can be dangerous, but I think as Manchester United fans, we know what he can and can't do. So it's all about really looking at the qualities there. Sometimes he was able to show that. Sometimes he was not able to show that. So yeah, and then obviously they got the first goal in the first half. Caicedo. Caicedo absolutely unleashes a rocket out of nowhere, scores the goal. What a fantastic goal. And even though it was a fantastic goal, I still think this goal could have been prevented. I think Liverpool have this thing where they have lackadaisical ways of defending. It's like they defend half-hearted and they concede silly goals, and they concede a lot of goals. Since the start of this season, they've conceded a lot of goals. And I'm sorry, if you want to be champions, yes, scoring goals is part of the business, but you have to be able to concede the least goals possible. Van Dijk, for example, on that goal from Caicedo, he just looks funny, always stepping back and not actually committing. And I'm not saying he has to fly in, but at some point you have to create some sort of barrier. You have to create some sort of... You have to show the player attacking or the player taking a shot that you're trying to actually block it. Van Dijk keeps doing this thing where he just takes steps back and he's not trying to commit because it's almost like he doesn't want to get dribble past. And I know people come up with this stat that he's never been dribble past because he never actually commits. And it's just, I don't know, it just looks funny to me. It just looks really funny. And now you've let arguably the goal of the season in against Chelsea in a big game. And now you've dropped down to second. But again, we'll get to Liverpool in a second. So I think that goal was absolutely fantastic out of nowhere. Liverpool had chances in the first half. The first one that comes to mind is the one where Salah done the Trivela thing with his left foot onto Isak's head. Isak, the timing of the header was a bit off, I think. The timing of the jump, which is probably why it went over the bar. And that was pretty much it. I can't really remember anything significant that Liverpool did in the first half. I thought Gakpo showed flashes of liveliness sometimes, but couldn't really do nothing against Reece James, who I thought had a really good game as well. In the second half, though, that's when Liverpool came out a different team. They made the change. Conor Bradley went off. Soboslai, who played in midfield in the first half, dropped down to right back. And Liverpool started to play a bit more fluently, a bit more freely. I don't know, it was like they were held back in the first half for some reason. But they started to play with more freedom. They started to be more attacking. Salah was a bit more attacking, even though today he was really poor. But I keep telling you guys about Salah the whole time, but you guys don't want to listen. But anywho, I digress. I think that Liverpool played with more intent. And the goal that they scored probably tells it all. Cross comes in. Isak, I don't know if he meant it or not. He's going to have to tell us. But cushions it perfectly in the path of Gakpo. Gakpo smashes it in to make it 1-1, equalises. And then you're thinking, okay, this is Liverpool now coming back. And as the time was going on, you'd think, okay, Liverpool are going to do what they always do, which is score towards the end, either to equalise, but in this case, to try and win it. But one thing I'll tell you guys, and you guys will know this for those who've watched football for a long time, you can't win the league always scoring last minute goals and last minute winners. It's not going to happen. I said this about Arsenal in the first season when they challenged for the title, when they were just smashing teams left, right and centre. I said, you can't expect to win the league always scoring last minute equalisers or last minute winners. It's not going to happen, because why do you put yourself in that predicament in the first place for you to be coming back and then scoring the last minute winner when you can just make sure that you are in a winning position? Do you know what I mean? So it didn't happen for Liverpool. Instead, Chelsea kept pushing, and Chelsea deservedly got the winner towards the end. ESTEVAO, who came on earlier in the game, got the winner for Chelsea, and he scores his first Premier League goal for Chelsea, scoring the winner against Liverpool. Now, there was a bit of a down point for Chelsea, the centre-back situation. We have to talk about this. Chelsea, if I'm not wrong, and this was the commentator saying it, now have all of their centre-backs out with an injury. And I'm going to name them. So, before the game, Colwill, obviously out with a cruciate ligament injury. He's due to come back late April 2026. Tosin, calf injury. He's due to come back mid-October. Fofana, concussion. He's due to come back mid-October. And that was it, I think. But then, during this game, 2 more centre-back injuries for Chelsea. The young Josh Achampong, 19-year-old, unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, because he was having a very good game, subbed off with an injury. Benoit Badiashile, subbed off with an injury. So, at this point, as I'm speaking to you, Chelsea have no recognised centre-back. And that is a problem, because they have some very, very important games coming up. Just looking at their fixtures now after the international break, they've got Nottingham Forest away, which is not easy. Then they got Ajax in the Champions League. Again, not easy. I know they've got Hato, who can play as a centre-back. But just him being the only recognised centre-back, that's a bit of an issue. So it's going to be up to Maresca to try and find a solution there, because, yeah, that is a very peak situation. But congratulations to Chelsea. They really deserve it. And that's that. On to Liverpool, and I spoke about them a few seconds earlier. You cannot win the league scoring last-minute winners in every game. And you could arguably say since the start of the season, Liverpool have not played well. They just haven't. They've played well in spells, and they've shown what they can do in moments. But in terms of controlling a performance from start to finish, the way they done last season, I don't think they've done it. I think they are far away from their usual form. And this is now 3 losses, 2 in the league and 1 in the Champions League against Galatasaray. And that is not a good look. I'm looking at the losses that they had, the 2-1 loss against Crystal Palace, the loss against Galatasaray midweek, and now a loss against Chelsea. They've fallen down to second now, a point behind Arsenal. Now, of course, start of the season, so that doesn't really mean anything, but you've now allowed Arsenal to be in pole position to win this league, because if there's one thing we know about Arsenal, they're capable of putting together loads of wins. The only thing that's holding them back, or could hold them back, is their manager. Now, if their manager decides to take the handbrake off, it could be curtains, and Arsenal could go and win this league. So I think Liverpool today were really poor overall. Even though Gakpo was the only one in the second half, in my opinion, that showed that he really wanted to win this game, I thought the rest was really poor. Really, really poor. You look at the leaders of this team and you go, Van Dijk, did you do enough? Salah, did you do enough? Florian Wirtz came on. Again, poor display. Very, very poor display. That's 8 games now. No goals, no assists, not impacting the game. Lots of questions are going to be asked now. You know, Arne Slot has been given all the tools possible to try and win this league again. But one of the players that he bought, Milos Kerkez, absolutely struggling since he came over from Bournemouth. Some of the players that he bought didn't even play today. Jeremy Frimpong on the bench. So there's just a lot of questions to be asked there. And it's not getting any easier for Liverpool because, and I say not easier, they should be able to, win against Manchester United. But with their recent form, I don't know, Manchester United can always decide to turn up in a game against Liverpool, in a big game. They can always decide to do so. So lots of questions to be asked for Liverpool, but in the end, Chelsea deserved this win in my opinion. And Maresca celebrated, of course, towards the end and got sent off for it because he was already on a yellow card. But I don't think he'll mind. He got the win, a vital, vital win for Chelsea. But let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I was at the United game, which is probably why you haven't seen a United reaction yet on my channel. However, if you're watching this and if you have made it till the end of this video, please, in the comments, I want to see a Brazilian flag. We're bringing back the word of the day. Final word, sorry. We're bringing back final word. Final word, or final emoji for today. Actually, we're going to switch it to final emoji. Let's go. Final emoji of this video. If you made it till the end, get in the comment section and type in a Brazilian flag in honor of ESTEVAO getting the winner for Chelsea. But yeah, head over to, or stay on my channel and check out the Manchester United reaction against Sunderland. So that was it from me, people. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's road to 20K, closing in on 19, and I shall see you very soon. Peace.